Why the 49ers opted for Khalil Davis trade over big-time move at deadline. As the NFL trade deadline came and went on Tuesday, the San Francisco 49ers made a calculated decision to add depth to their defensive line without making a splashy move. The team acquired backup defensive tackle Khalil Davis from the Houston Texans in exchange for a 2026 seventh-round draft pick. This trade, while modest in scope, reflects the 49ers' strategy of adding value rather than chasing high-profile names. The team's biggest changes will likely come from players already on the roster, particularly those returning from injury. Strategic depth addition. Davis, a 6'2", 315-pound defensive tackle, has been a rotational player for the Texans, contributing 9 tackles and 1 sack over 9 games this season. He spent the previous seasons with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Indianapolis Colts, Pittsburgh Steelers, and the Rams. His familiarity with the 49ers' defensive system, having worked under former defensive coordinator DeMeco Ryans in Houston, should ease his transition into San Francisco's defense. While Davis isn't a household name, his acquisition is seen as a smart depth addition for a defensive line that was already facing injuries and inconsistent play. The 49ers are expecting to get a boost with the return of players like Dre Greenlaw and Yetur Gross-Matos in the coming weeks. And Davis adds to their growing rotation behind starters Maliek Collins and Jordan Elliott. Avoiding a high-profile trade. San Francisco's general manager, John Lynch, made it clear that any potential trade would need to be evaluated for both its short and long-term impact. The 49ers did explore options, but ultimately, a big-name acquisition didn't fit their vision. "We see a fit that can improve our football team. We won't hesitate to get it done," Lynch said last week. However, in this case, the 49ers determined that keeping their draft capital and relying on internal reinforcements was the best course of action. With the team sitting at 4-4 and having suffered from injuries and some inconsistent play in the first half of the season, the 49ers are looking to the return of key players to spark a turnaround. Christian McCaffrey, John Feliciano, and possibly others are expected to return soon. And these reinforcements are expected to make a bigger impact than any trade acquisition. Focus on future success. The 49ers have been proactive at trade deadlines in past seasons, making moves to bring in players like Emmanuel Sanders, Christian McCaffrey, and Chase Young, but with their roster already featuring a mix of talented veterans and promising young players. The team is betting on the players already on their roster, especially their rookies and returning injured players. In fact, San Francisco's 2024 draft class has already made an impact. 7 of their 8 draft picks have been active this season, including key contributors like wide receiver Ricky Pearsall and safety Malik Mustafa. This draft class offers future value, particularly as the 49ers will face financial challenges as top players like quarterback Brock Purdy are poised for big contract extensions. By not making a major trade, the 49ers are holding on to valuable draft picks, which could be crucial in building a sustainable roster moving forward. They currently hold 7 scheduled draft picks for the 2025 NFL Draft, with a potential for more compensatory selections. Final thoughts. While some teams around the league were making blockbuster trades, like the Detroit Lions acquiring Zadarius Smith or the Arizona Cardinals adding Baron Browning, the 49ers have opted for a more measured approach. They believe the best way to strengthen their team for the second half of the season is not by trading for a high-profile player, but by relying on the depth they've already built, the return of injured players, and their solid scouting to identify value acquisitions like Davis. The 49ers' decision to hold off on a big move may have disappointed some fans, but it reflects their belief in their current roster and their commitment to balancing short-term needs with long-term sustainability.